Hello yoga friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica and this is the 31-day yoga challenge where we do 20 minutes of yoga a day for 31 days. Today is day 16 and today's theme is surrender. We won't be needing any props for today's practice, and as always there is a free Spotify playlist linked down below if you care to listen to some tunes while you practice. Without further ado, let's get started here in Sukhasana, easy pose. Coming into that seated position, maybe fluttering the eyes closed or taking a soft gaze, allowing the palms to come down to the knees, palms down, finding some grounding energy, or palms up to harness some energy from the universe. Beginning to even that breath out, in and out through the nostrils. Coming into the present moment. We'll begin our practice by setting an intention. Anything that comes to mind is wonderful. And if nothing comes to mind, you can always use this one. I let go of struggle and surrender to ease. I let go of struggle and surrender to ease. And whatever intention you chose for yourself today, begin to inhale that beautiful energy from that intention in through the nose, deep into the belly. And open the mouth, sigh, exhale out anything extra you may have brought onto your mat today. Taking that one more time, inhaling through the nose, deep into the belly. And open the mouth, sigh, exhale out anything extra. Coming back to your even breath, knowing you can return to your intention throughout practice and perhaps throughout the rest of your day today. You can go ahead and flutter your eyes open. And next, inhale, let's bring our arms out to a T. Exhale, right hand down to the mat, left arm overhead, stretching through that left side body here, 2 rounds of breath. Next, inhale, come back up to center, arms to a T, and exhale, left hand to the mat, right arm overhead, stretching through that right side body, 2 rounds of breath. And next, inhale, come back up to center, arms to a T, and let's exhale, twist to the right, maybe bringing that left hand to the right knee, option to gaze over the right shoulder, with the right hand just behind that hip. Next, inhale, let's come back up to center, arms to a T, and exhale, twist to the left, maybe bringing that right hand to the left knee. Option to gaze over that left shoulder, 2 rounds of breath. And next, inhale, coming back to center. Let's find our way into tabletop. Bringing our knees directly under hips, wrists directly under shoulders. Next, exhale, let's walk those palms towards the front of the mat, melting the heart down. Placing the forehead or chin on the mat for puppy pose. Let's stay here for 3 rounds of breath, really opening through that upper back. Always option to flex the feet or just keep the tops of the feet on the mat here. And on your next inhale, gently walk yourself back up into tabletop. Let's inhale, drop the belly, look up to the sky for cow pose. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding the spine for cat. Let's find 2 more of those, really connecting breath to body. And one more time. And then on your next inhale, let's find that neutral tabletop. Flexing through both feet, maybe walking the palms slightly forward. Let's press the hips up and back, finding our first downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling through the feet here or generously bending the knees, making sure the feet are hip width distance or wider. Shoulders down and back, neck nice and released, eyes of the elbows pointed towards the front of the mat, and all 10 fingers spread wide. We'll stay here for 3 more rounds of breath. Maybe finding some organic movement or breathing in stillness. And on your next inhale, rise up to the balls of the feet and step, hop, or float forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And next inhale, let's rise all the way up to Tadasana mountain pose, arms overhead. Let's come up to the left ball of the foot and cross that left foot behind the right, reaching that left arm overhead and grabbing the left wrist with the right hand for dancing Shiva. 2 rounds of breath. Really opening through that left side body. Next, inhale, coming back into that Tadasana mountain pose, arms overhead. Let's come up to the right ball of the foot and cross that right foot behind the left, reaching that right arm overhead, grabbing the right wrist with the left hand for dancing Shiva. On the opposite side, 2 rounds of breath. And next, inhale. Come back to Tadasana mountain pose, arms overhead, and exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, shoulders down and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, plant the palms, step, hop, or float back, flow as you so choose, and I'll meet you in downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath here. Next inhale, we're going to place that left foot between the palms at the front of the mat. Inhaling, arms overhead for high crescent. And exhale, cactus the arms down, taking a little back bend. Inhaling, arms overhead. And let's shift all 10 toes to the right side of the mat for a wide-legged stance. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe placing palms on the mat or around the ankles. We're going to leave our eyes open here, just noticing the change in perspective. Being upside down allows you. And we'll stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. And next inhale, we're going to find half lift, palms to the shins. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, put a slight bend in the knees and roll up the spine 1 vertebrae at a time and shift all 10 toes to the front of the mat for high crescent once more. Exhale, palms down to the mat, bringing the right palm just on the inside of the left foot, and inhale that left arm overhead for a twist, 2 rounds of breath. And next, exhale, lower that left palm down to the mat. Let's lower that right shin as well. And then heel toe that left foot to the outer edge of the mat, setting up for lizard. So sending that right leg back so you're off of the knee, making sure the left knee and the left toes are pointed in the same direction. Option to stay here on the palms, or maybe you go down onto your forearms. An option to roll onto the outer edge of the left foot for lizard. Opening through that left hip here. We'll stay here for 3 more rounds of breath. And if you are down on your forearms, let's go ahead and come back up to the palms, and then very gently heel toe that left foot back into the center of the mat, finding a low crescent lunge, inhaling arms overhead, and exhale, cactus those arms down. Inhale, arms overhead. Let's flex through the right foot, picking up that right knee. And exhale, palms down to the mat. Step that left leg back, flow as you so choose. And I'll meet you in downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath here. And on your next inhale, we're going to place that right foot between the palms at the front of the mat. Inhaling, arms overhead for high crescent. And exhale, cactus those arms down, looking up to the sky. Inhale, arms overhead. And then we're going to shift all 10 toes to the left side of the mat for a wide-legged stance. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe doing the same thing with your arms as you did on the other side, or maybe you grab opposite elbows, taking a ragdoll here. Just again, keeping your eyes open and noticing that change in perspective. We'll stay here for 3 more rounds of breath. And on your next inhale, let's inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend through the knees and roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Then turning all 10 toes to the top of the mat for high crescent. And exhaling, palms down to the mat, bringing that left palm just on the inside of the left foot. And inhale that right arm overhead, 2 rounds of breath in this twist. Next, exhale, lower that right palm down to the mat as well as the left shin. We're going to set up for lizard on the opposite side, so heel toeing that right foot to the outer edge of the mat, coming to the palms, or maybe lowering down onto the forearms. Option to roll to the outer edge of that right foot. And we'll stay here for 3 more rounds of breath. If you are on your forearms, go ahead and come back up to your palms, and then gently heel toe that foot back into center as we inhale those arms overhead for a low crescent lunge. Exhale, cactus the arms down, looking up to the sky. Inhale, arms overhead. Let's flex through that left foot, picking up the left knee, and exhale, palms down to the mat, stepping the right foot back, flowing as you so choose. And I'll meet you in downward facing dog. One more round of breath here. And next, inhale, rise up to the balls of the feet, step hopper, float forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to the sky, arms overhead. We're going to move into diver pose. So bringing our arms down by our sides, palms facing the back of the mat. We're going to inhale, lift those heels off the mat. Keeping your core nice and activated here. Option to just stay here, or maybe bend forward at the hip, coming into diver. And staying wherever you are for 3 rounds of breath. Really surrendering to this feeling. Maybe imagining a beautiful view of the water, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's the ocean, or maybe a beautiful pond or lake. And then on your next inhale, if you are bent over at the hip, let's come back up to that releve position. And then exhale the heels down to the mat. From here, we're going to inhale those arms overhead and exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Planting the palms on the mat or blocks, we'll heel toe those feet to the outer edges of the mat, turning the feet out slightly, again making sure the knees and toes are pointed in the same direction. And exhale, sit down into Malasana Squat. So we want this wide enough where our heels are not coming off the mat. Option to keep the palms on the mat, or maybe you bring them up to heart center, your elbows on the insides of the thighs. Imagining on each exhale any unwanted or stuck energy just being released back into the earth to be recycled for something more useful. We're going to stay here for 3 more rounds of breath. And if you do have your hands at heart center, let's go ahead and bring the palms down to the mat. And inhale, all straighten those knees and heel toe the feet back into that forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, plant the palms and step back into a tabletop position, finding our way onto our bums. Straightening the legs out in front of us, flexing the feet. Let's reach the fingertips towards the front of the mat and exhale, roll all the way down onto our backs. And from here, let's inhale both knees into the chest, bringing arms out to a T, and exhale the legs over to the left for a supine twist, making sure that right shoulder remains in contact with the earth, an option to gaze over the right fingertips. 3 rounds of breath here. Next, inhale, let's bring those legs through center and exhale them over to the right for supine twist on the opposite side. Making sure that left shoulder remains in contact with the earth, an option to gaze over the left fingertips. Next, inhale, bring those knees back into center and just allow the soles of the feet to find the mat, knees bent. And then exhale, we're going to open those knees towards the sides of the mat, bringing the feet together for supine butterfly. You can adjust the heels as close or as far away as you need to. You can place any props, pillows, or blocks underneath the knees if this is uncomfortable. But here at the end of the class, I want us to surrender to stillness, to this beautiful, gentle hip opener here. Maybe fluttering the eyes closed or taking a soft gaze, and just staying here for 5 more rounds of breath. And then from here, maybe with the aid of your arms, you can bring your knees back up towards the sky, soles of the feet flat on the floor. We're going to find our Shavasana for the day. option to take a traditional Shavasana by lengthening your legs out in front of you, or maybe take a constructive rest by heel-toeing the feet to the outer edges of the mat, and then just knocking the knees in toward one another, bringing arms out to the sides, or maybe hands resting on belly and or heart. Once again, fluttering the eyes closed if they're not there already, adjusting any clothing or hair that might be distracting, scanning the body for any tension we can exhale, and allow yourself to stop being a human doing and just be a human being. I will let you know when it's time to come out of your Shavasana, but for now, simply rest. And you are welcome to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. But if you'd like to close out class with me, begin to bring awareness back to your breath, introducing some movement into the body by wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe rolling through the wrists and ankles, maybe windshield wiper the knees from side to side, finding any organic movement here to wake the body back up. And then gently rolling onto one side to find a fetal position, using your bottom arm as a pillow, knees bent. And on your next inhale, gently pressing your way up into Sukhasana, easy pose. Maybe keeping your eyes closed or in a soft gaze. Let's bring hands to heart center. I want to thank you for coming to practice with me today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll close our class with the sound of Om, inhaling through the nose deep into the belly. Om. And bringing thumbs to third eye. May the light and love in me recognize and honor the light and love in you. Namaste.